So every month we are discussing a basic topic of learning in Buddhism. And this month we are talking about the threefold training in Buddhism, which is very important. It's fundamental regardless of what practice or what school you're practicing. This is the overarching principle. So has anyone heard of the threefold training in Buddhism? Okay. Everyone can understand me, no problem? English? Okay, no problem. So the threefold trainings refer to the precepts, meditative concentration, and wisdom. So it doesn't matter what school you practice, whether it's Chen or Zen, Chen is Zen, or Pure Land or Tibetan, or doesn't matter which school. This is a must. Buddhist teaching is a progressive teaching. There is an order. First is the precepts, and second, from precepts it gives rise to meditative concentration, and from meditative concentration, one will activate the original wisdom that's within all of us. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the precepts. Why do you think Buddhists should observe precepts or morality? Or maybe not only Buddhists, like just anyone who wants to maybe live a good life.
Precepts like principles.
Yes, yes. Precepts are like principles that govern our body, speech, and mind. Yes, so the purpose of the precept is to tame our mind, right? Because sometimes our mind is very scattered, or we are easily troubled, afflicted, right? Because maybe we're not doing the right things. If you do something wrong, of course you're gonna feel troubled. You're gonna feel worried. Say if you steal something from the shop, from 7-Eleven, you're gonna worry about, the police will come and catch me and all that. Yeah, so because we believe in the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. So that's why it's important to have some kind of morality principles, or in Buddhism we call them precepts, to govern our body, speech, and mind. Yeah, and for lay Buddhists, usually we observe the 5 precepts. Does anyone know what are the 5 precepts?
No, there's no stealing and no killing.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Yes. So first, 3 for our bodily conduct. First is no killing. This is a very big one because everyone treasures their life. We treasure our life the most. So of course we don't want to harm others' life. If we harm others, they're also going to harm us. So first is no killing. And second is no stealing. And third is no sexual misconduct. These 3 are for our bodily actions. And fourth is no lying. And we can even extend the 4th point to no lying, no harsh speech, no frivolous speech, no gossips. These are the 10 good deeds in Buddhism. So the speech, 4 governs our speech. And then also in the 5 precepts, there's also the no alcohol and intoxicants, or anything that could cloud the mind. This people may find it a bit difficult. Why no alcohol? So why do you think the Buddha said no alcohol? So the last one is really to prevent the first 4 from happening. And people say, I can control, doesn't matter, I can drink. If you can really control, maybe you can drink, but what happens is a lot of people, they think they can control, but they can't. And then that's why we see a lot of accidents happen, like car accidents, all kinds of disaster happen under the influence of alcohol and drugs or any intoxicants that cloud the mind. So the last one is really to prevent the first 4 from happening, and also to extend this further, there's also no greed, no anger, no ignorance. This is for the 10 good deeds. Of course, these are not easy for a lot of us, and it doesn't mean that if you are a Buddhist, then you must observe the precepts. So in Buddhism, you can take the 3 refuge. You take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Buddha is our teacher, and also our Buddha nature. The Buddha said we all have the Buddha nature within us. And Dharma is the Buddha's teaching, also the wisdom that's within us. Sangha is like the monastic order that upheld and practiced the Buddha's teaching. Also means the harmony, the nature within us. So you can take the 3 refuge. Once you take the 3 refuge, it's like you register into the school of Buddhism. You become the student of the Buddha. But it doesn't mean that you must observe the 5 precepts. This can be separate. You can take the 3 refuge. And later, if you think about, oh, I really want to be a good student of the Buddha, I want to progress on my path, then you can also take out the 5 precepts. And the purpose of taking up the precepts are really to help us to tame our mind. So when we do the right things, it's much easier for us to enter into the second point is meditative concentration. And we talk about meditation. How can we calm our mind? How can we obtain peace of mind in the moment? First of all, you should govern your body, speech, and mind. Once you govern your body, speech, and mind with all these principles, then it's much easier for you to enter into meditative concentration. And what exactly is meditative concentration? What do you think?
So I think about like focused attention, like
very good.
one thing at a time perhaps, but even if like, I guess for me personally, even if I find myself distracted or like my head's messy, like a mindset of just accepting it and not trying to like push it down and let flow through.
Very good. Very good. So meditative concentration, it's about focusing in a moment. So your mind is not scattered, you're concentrating in this moment. And you can just like, you can say focusing on one thing at a time. So then you're not feeling like stressed or anxious. So sometimes when we have too many things on our plate, we don't know what to do. And this is where anxiety can kick in and all that. But with meditative concentration, even if you have a lot on your plate, you don't have to feel worried or anxious. Because it doesn't help even if you feel worried and anxious. You still have so many things on your plate. So why not just like sit down, take one thing at a time, and to be in the moment and to focus to try to do what you can the best in this moment. Yes. So how we can achieve meditative concentration?
There are the senses, so those are always in the present moment, seeing, hearing, feeling, swallowing.
Any other method? You can turn on the light. Yes. So what's the meditation we practiced here?
Nianfo.
Very good. So you can achieve meditative concentration also through Nianfo, through Amitabha, Amitabha, Amitabha. For instance, your mind is very clouded with 10 million things on your mind. And then you decided, okay, I don't want to feel like stressed or anxious. I want to be in the moment. Then you can start to chant this mantra, Amitabha, 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 to bring you back into the moment. Even 10 recitations, you can feel the difference. So first of all, it's important we maybe follow some kind of morality principles to govern our body, speech, and mind. And then so we don't feel worried. If we do things wrong, then we're gonna worry about them. So, and then you practice this meditation, or it could be also other meditation you find that works for you, like what you just said, or to observe your breathing. But for me, like this Nianfo meditation works wonder. So I highly recommend it. That's also what I maybe preach is to practice this Nianfo due to its simplicity. Some other meditations can be a bit difficult. Like in Tibetan Buddhism, maybe you have to remember long mantras and dharanis, and sometimes you don't remember them. when you are, particularly when you are stressed. Maybe, but you can remember Amitabha even if you're very stressed. And through this repeated recitation of this magic word, of this mantra, this is where you can obtain single-minded. Like what I said when we were drinking tea, while you were doing the Amitabha, you engage your hearing, Amitabha, your mouth, your mind, and to lock those three faculties, that's how you can be in the moment. Yes, so that's also a good way for us to achieve meditative concentration. And once you can achieve meditative concentration, it doesn't matter what happens outside of you. You're not so easily affected by external environment and people, what other people say and do. And sometimes people are so easily affected because other people say something about you, or say something maybe negative about you, and then you get upset and you become depressed and all that. Why? Because you don't have meditative concentration. You're not very much in the moment. You don't know how to sort of focus inward, so you get easily swayed by the external environment and the external people, whatever they do. And if you don't have meditative concentration, you can also get easily swayed by your own internal thoughts. Like how many thoughts we have on our mind every day? A lot. But a lot of them are not so helpful. So we also need to filter them. They can, an easy way to not be affected by them is to observe your mind like a third party. Observe all these thoughts like a third party, with no attachment, no separation. It's like the clouds from the sky, they come and go. You don't need to be attached to them. You're simply being aware. Yeah, okay, I have all this horror movie going on in my mind, but that's fine. I don't need to be attached to them. I'm just like a third party watching them. And you don't need to be, to distinguish. You don't need to label, oh, good, bad, all this, which can give rise to more afflictions, right? Like what you say, you simply accept them as they are, as it is. The thusness, the suchness of the nature of reality. And you simply perceive them as they are, with no attachment, no separation, as it is. All the Buddhist Sutra begin with these words. Thus I have heard, thus have I heard. Thus, the thusness, the suchness of the reality. This is the nature of reality. It is just as it is. Don't need to give rise to more interpretation or attachment and separation. The more you try to interpret something, this is how you're going into a vicious cycle. So you just perceive them as they are, without attachment, without separation, and you can Amitabha in your mind. This is where you can give rise to meditative concentration. Okay. Any questions on this? No? Okay, simple, straightforward. It just takes practice. Everything is about practice. Buddhism is not about theory. What I'm here to talk to you it's only about the method. It's like a manual. But if you don't follow the manual to practice, then you also cannot obtain this. So it doesn't work if we only read the manual and we're not putting into the effort and practice. Okay. And last is wisdom, prajna. In Buddhism, wisdom is not just what we say intelligent. It's not like, oh, you graduated from Melbourne Uni, that you got lots of wisdom. No. You may be very intelligent, be very smart, but you may not have much wisdom. How do we know if someone has wisdom? And what's the kind of definition or qualification, or we can say, oh, this person is very wise?
I think they're humble.
Humble? Okay,
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're just doing well in life, then they've succeeded.
How do you define doing well in life and success?
Happiness.
Happiness, very good.
Or absence of suffering as well.
Yeah, very good. So they don't have much afflictions.
Yeah.
You see them very happy and free.
Yeah.
When we say free, we don't mean, oh, YOLO, I can do what I want. No, it's a freedom from the mind. You see that they are not afflicted. And that's maybe this person has wisdom. With wisdom, it can overcome suffering and afflictions. Yeah. So very good. Success is not just about money and all that. No, but it's about happiness. Yeah. Why people want to obtain this and that? Because they still want happiness, but then they're looking for the wrong direction. Right? To obtain things from externally, maybe can give you only temporary pleasures, but not permanent happiness. If you want permanent happiness, you need to follow the Buddha's teachings. Yeah. The precepts, meditative concentration, you need meditation, you need mindfulness, then it gives rise to wisdom, it gives rise to prajna, and only with this wisdom you can obtain lasting happiness. And wisdom, another word in Buddhism we call it wisdom is prajna. Prajna is a Sanskrit word. Sometimes the English speaker may say prajna, or it's really prajna, and it means the ability of perceive the nature of the reality. In Mahayana Buddhism, it's also talking about the emptiness of the reality. To perceive all things are empty of inherent existence. This can be a bit of a deep concept. What does emptiness mean? What do you think?
Maybe not having an essence.
Yes.
Like it can change over time, never stays the same.
Very good. Yes, so it doesn't have like a fixed self-nature attached to it. For instance, like this table, now it's a table. If someone comes in and smashes, what it becomes? Wood, chunks of wood. And then someone burned them, what it become? Ashes. And then someone buried the ashes into the ground. What it becomes. Yeah, so everything is constantly changing without sort of like a fixed self-nature. This is the definition of emptiness. Things comes due to dependent origination, due to causes and conditions. Things come together. So if you know that all things are constantly changing without like a permanent fixed self-nature, what's your attitude to them? Should you be attached or not? No, very good. I thought that's an easy answer. And I was waiting for so long. So why not? Why?
Because it changes anyway.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, should we be attached to, maybe I shouldn't say this, but like, you know, relationships? Emotional attachment, what do you think?
I think emotional attachment is like kind of a natural part of relating to people, but I think that doesn't mean that you can't also accept that things might change.
Very good.
Or not continue.
You have to accept when things change because that's the nature of reality. Let's say you are with someone for your entire life, okay? Let's say. How about 100 years? You know? Let's say you guys are loved together like forever. But how long is forever in this life?
Not long.
Thank you. Yeah, not long because of impermanent. Because of anything could happen. We don't even know what might happen to us in the next moment, right? So this is not being like negative or passive. This is like you truly clearly understand the nature of reality. And because you understand this is the nature, you can accept like everything is constantly changing. If you can accept this, like because this is the truth in this world. If you don't accept the truth, what happened to you? If you don't accept, things will change. If you don't accept your partner, whoever may not, you know, always be in love with you one day, what happens? Suffering. Thank you. Yes, so suffering will come. But if you have the wisdom, you understand. Okay, this is natural. People change. Maybe he said he liked you today a lot. Who knows what happens in 10 years' time, or even next moment we don't know it. Yeah, so because things can change, people can change, everything is constantly changing because nothing is impermanent. So whatever changes, we don't have to be too attached. Whatever we have now, whatever we enjoy now, whether it's the things you have, the relationship, the people you are with, everything, you can enjoy. You can enjoy now. But then don't be too upset when things fall apart. Because this is the nature of life. This is not being negative, but this is understand the nature of the reality. All things are emptiness of inherent existence. If you have this ability to perceive reality as it is, you can say you are someone with wisdom, because you can transcend all sufferings. When things change, you don't have to be too upset. You can accept it as it is. Does that make sense? But this is not easy. Easier said to do because we have the tendency to be attached to many things in our life. We are a product of attachment, a habit. This is our habitual tendency. The Buddha said because we've been in the samsara for too long, so we get the habit of always being attached. And what's the root cause of suffering? On the Four Noble Truths, if anyone knows about it. Attachment, thank you. It's attachment, it's our craving, it's the root of suffering. So it doesn't matter what practice, what school you're practicing in Buddhism, it's all about getting non-attached. And you can get non-attached from all kinds of ways. So with Amitabha, it's like we know you like to be attached, so we give you something else to be attached that doesn't have the side effects, the negative side effects. So if you like to be attached, you like to think, okay, you think about Amitabha. Amitabha means infinite light and light. It resonates with your Buddha nature. You can be attached to Amitabha, but not other things. Then you will not suffer. Yeah. And Amitabha also helps us to solve the problem of birth and death. And because what is the most maybe fearful thing in life for all of us? Death, right? When death comes, do you know where you're going? No, okay. You don't know? I know. So because I know, I'm not afraid. Does that make sense? Yeah, because we are like a passenger here on earth. Even earth one day will perish, but not during our lifetime, but in the future. We talk about the more like the long-term thing. And the Buddha said, at the end of your life, if you recite Amitabha, you will go to his pure land. This is not just like a fairy tale or the Buddha make it up. No, this is actually real because a lot of people, they have done that. They have seen Amitabha. They have attained rebirth to the pure land. So to me, I don't have any doubt about this. So to me, I'm not afraid of death. I've solved this problem of the fear of death. Because my father passed away when I was 21. So that's why I began this maybe spiritual journey at a relatively young age. I've been searching a lot about what happened to people after they die, because I had a vivid dream of my father after he passed. So to me, I knew death is not the end. It's another journey. But if you know death is not the end, it's the beginning of another journey, then it's also good to think about, where we might end up in our next journey. So the Buddha said, if you go to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, you can realize Buddhahood quickly. Here it's very difficult. Although I talk about non-attachment, let's be very realistic. Can you be non-attached to your physical body? Let's just say disattachment. No, right? Yeah. We have to be honest to ourselves. If someone's gonna kill us, we're gonna be a bit afraid, or to hurt our body because we have this attachment to our body. So here, very difficult to, let's say, realize enlightenment, let alone to say Buddhahood. Enlightenment is not just one level. In Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, 52 stages of enlightenment, with 52nd being the final Buddhahood. So it's not easy to be a Buddha in this life. Because our lifespan is also too short. We don't have much time here. So we should also think about migration. Not to Mars, but to the Pure Land. Because even when you say you migrate to a different planet, you are still in the samsara. You are still in the 6 rounds of reincarnation. We have a painting about the reincarnation downstairs on our exhibition. You can also have a look. Yes. So, the precepts, meditative concentration, wisdom refers to the ability to see the nature of the reality. And if you have this wisdom, maybe you cannot completely embody it. Like even if you understand it in theory, but you still got some attachment, that's fine. But it's like less attachment, less suffering. And you use this Nianfo practice to help you transform your attachment to the name of Amitabha Buddha, to Amitabha. And at the end of your life, you can also migrate to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. Even if you don't believe the existence of the Pure Land now, you can still practice this meditation to help you transform your attachment, to help you to be more happy and at ease, to be more at peace in your everyday life. Yes. Okay, anybody has any sort of questions?
Is attachment simply part of life? Because every animal wants to survive, every animal is striving. That's why there is life. That's why there is evolution. So would your view be that attachment is simply part of living? And then maybe is attachment really, is it bad, is it good? What is life?
Okay, so it is why we are born into this world is because of attachment. The Buddha said that from the why there is samsara, reincarnation happening because of our attachment. There is a sutra called Entry into the Womb Sutra, where the Buddha described how the consciousness enter into the mother's womb, because they see that the consciousness sees the parents are, doing have sexual intercourse, and the consciousness get attached to that, and then the consciousness enter into the mother's womb. Of course, there is karmic connection with the parents. So why we are born into this world, you're right, because of attachment. And because there's attachment, there is this cycle of reincarnation. And because there is attachment, there is constant suffering. Okay? So from the Buddhist perspective, it's not ideal to be born into this world, to be born into the world of suffering. Because there is attachment, there is birth, there is death. If there is birth, there is death into this world. And so that's why the Buddha recommend go to another world. That's better there. And to go to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, you don't have to cut off your attachment. You can go and bring your attachment there because you cannot cut it off. But while you're in the Buddha's Pure Land, under the Buddha's guidance or the enlightened being's guidance, you can quickly realize enlightenment. Because the Buddha said our true nature is actually infinite life. We don't actually have to subject to the segmented birth and death. Our true nature is actually infinite. Also, quantum physicists, I think they have come to this same conclusion, like what the Buddha said. It's called a quantum field. Quantum field is actually everywhere. We actually don't have to be confined into just this physical body and subject to repeated birth and death. Yes. So, is attachment good? To me, no. Because then I have to subject to repeated birth and death and repeated suffering. And to me, I want to maybe to live my full potential, which is infinite light, infinite life. Yes. Infinite peace, infinite bliss. Yeah. But it's difficult to achieve that at this, we can call it 3-dimensional reality, difficult. Yes. But it's actually our potential. The Buddha nature is our potential. Buddhahood is our potential. Yes. And for animals, of course, they have even more attachment than us, the humans. That's why they fall into the lower realm, or the bad karma. So the 3 good realms in samsara, human is the best. Human, Ashura, and heavens. Why the Buddha said human realm is the best? Because the humans has a mix of happiness and suffering. In the heaven realm, too much happiness, you don't think about the Dharma. No one think about impermanence because they have such a long lifespan. If you live for 10,000 years, you won't maybe think about coming here to listen to impermanence, because you got too much happiness to enjoy. You indulge in too much pleasures. It's not easy for spiritual cultivation. Whereas in the human realm, there's a mix of happiness and suffering. So it's good for people to be awakened, to wake up, right? So the Buddha said, everything here is an illusion. But why is it an illusion? Because it's impermanent. Because things change all the time. Yes. So in a way, we are actually in a dream. But it's difficult for people who are dreaming to know we are in a dream. You know what I mean? So Buddha is the one who wakes up and come and tell you, hey, hello, wake up, wake up. Yeah, what do you think? You don't want to be an animal in your next life?
Probably not.
Yeah, the three evil realms are animal, hungry ghost, and the hell realm. So we are actually very fortunate. We actually have good karma, relatively speaking. If you are born as a human in this world, in this life, we are a product of our past karma. So that means at least you've done something well. You have maybe observed 5 precepts in your past life, so you could reincarnate it as a human with complete good roots. You're not having any disability, you're not losing any limbs or anything. And also, you have the chance to encounter the Dharma. And you can live in a wonderful country like Australia. So this is also already very good karma. And many people who are born as humans, they don't get this kind of privilege. So congratulations to all of you, particularly to encounter the Pure Land Dharma, which is very rare and difficult to believe. Yes. The Buddha said from the sutra, if you practice this practice, the Nianfo practice in the past, you have already made offerings to countless Buddhas in your past lives. Yeah. Anything people like to share, ask before we break for lunch? Maybe a bit of word about evolution. So according to the Buddha, the origin of humans actually come from the heaven realm. Yeah, many long time ago. There's a sutra talk about the origin of the human and society. At that time, in the heaven realm, the heaven realm, 28 levels of heavens can be divided into the desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm. So the Buddha said we actually come from the form realm. Very specific. It tells you which level of heaven, and it's called Guanshiyin. It's like the light sound heaven. Initially, at that time, there was a disaster in the heaven, some fire and some kind of disaster, and all the heavenly beings, they want to migrate. And then at that time, they flew above the earth. At that time, the earth was only very newly formed, not like the earth now. And then slowly they come down here. Initially, they came as light beings, not with this physical bodies. And they ate something here on earth, and they enjoyed this food so much. They started to eat more, like greed, because heavenly beings, they haven't got rid of greed. And they started to eat more. The more they eat, they started to lose their light. And that's when they started to have this body. So from a light being to like a being with no light, and they could not fly back. And then because due to the different greed in different people, then some people are more beautiful than others. If the less greedy, and then some people with more greed. The people with less greed are more beautiful than the people with more greed. And then they give rise to separation and attachment, and also lust. And there's lust, and then there is the men and the women. So a very interesting sutra where the Buddha talked about how the humans came to earth first. So not from chimpanzees or things like that. Yeah. Not according to the Buddha. And to me, I also personally, I don't believe in that Darwin's theory of evolution. And because now we still see a lot of, I don't know, chimpanzees are not evolved as humans. But anyway, so scientists, they can have their views. But to me, because I believe the Buddha is a perfect enlightened being, so a perfect enlightened being correctly understands the truth of life and the universe. So I believe in the Buddha's words. Yeah. And in China, in ancient China, we have highly advanced civilization. Like this, we are going to the pilgrimage in December to Sichuan, and recently, through some archaeologists' work, they uncover a very highly advanced ancient civilization a long time ago. I call it Sanxingdui. Anyway, they look like aliens, but this is the real. Yeah, and they were not much longer than us. Yes. So actually, a lot of the ancient wisdom are much more. Well, I don't know whether we are more evolved or we're less evolved now, because now we look at the ancient Chinese wisdom, so much surpassed, so incredible. I mean, technology-wise, we are more maybe evolved, but in terms of the wisdom of the beings, I think we cannot compare with our ancestors. Yes. Okay, so maybe we can do like a. Maybe you've been sitting long enough, a bit difficult. So we do a closing, and we can break for lunch. Okay, you can bring your hands to your heart. It's unsurpassed Mary to listen to the Dharma. There is an unsurpassed Mary to listen to the Dharma.
To listen to the Dharma.
And we transfer the merit boundlessly. May all beings who hear this will generate the unsurpassed bodhicitta and attain rebirth in the land of ultimate bliss.
In the land of ultimate bliss.
Namo A弥陀佛.
Namo A弥陀佛.